Well, firstly, thank you members for giving me this opportunity to speak this evening. My name is Philip Chadder. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, City and Docklands. I'll try to be brief and address the issues raised by Mr Notley. I would firstly like to point out this application has been developed following 20 months of engagement with the officers from the GLA and the ODC. We've also spoken to stakeholders and the local community. This has also involved 3 separate public exhibitions spanning 5 days. We've also liaised with the car phone warehouse and the perfume factory developers, and also other adjoining landowners to ensure the scheme is truly integrated with the emerging urban fabric. We've adopted a design-led approach, ensuring the highest quality of accommodation, landscaping and exemplary its architecture. A robust environmental assessment has been undertaken to ensure that the proposal will not cause unacceptable impacts on the neighbours or on the environment generally. The design, the scale of the proposed buildings have been carefully developed in consultation with the officers, the GLA and the OPDC officers. The area in question has already been identified as an opportunity area within the planning framework for North Acton. Ealing's Council has also identified the site as appropriate for tall buildings. We have worked with this premise to develop a cluster of tall buildings in conjunction with the recently approved schemes of car phone warehouse and perfume factory to provide an interesting and vibrant skyline. When developed and when viewed from afar, including strategic view points identified by the Council, in addition to the more local views, the scheme will provide for an interesting and diverse skyline, culminating in a cluster of tall buildings within which our tallest building, at 42 storeys, will represent the pinnacle. This is a sensible and valid design approach, given the nature of the opportunity area. The proposals make a positive contribution to the streetscape, the townscape, and improving connectivity across the site, and improving better links to North Acton Station. The new east-west landscape route will provide a valuable area of public realm, connecting the existing and approved links and emerging public realm improvements in the wider area. In terms of density, it's important to remember that the GLA matrix is not meant to be applied mechanically. This view is endorsed by the GLA themselves, who have supported the scheme both in terms of height and density. It's also important to remember that this scheme provides for quality accommodation which exceeds GLA standards. It provides a level of amenity space which exceeds GLA standards. It provides play space above GLA standards. The scheme will improve the public realm around and through the site and create new public spaces within the development. None of the kind of prerequisites associated with overdevelopment, as Mr Notley referred to, is apparent within this scheme. Far from it. We're creating a well thought out development which will provide for 570 new homes, all designed to meet or exceed housing standards. 30% of these dwellings will be for affordable residents, with a discounted range from 20 to 30%. There'll be also flexible employment space. We're looking to generate...
Yeah, I'm sorry you're over by 10 seconds.
Okay.
So just conclude it, please.
Okay. I'll just go finish on the employment. We're creating potentially 270 jobs as opposed to the 90 jobs existing on the site. We're also relocating one of the biggest employers which currently sits on the site.
Can we call time, please? This is unfair.
Okay, sorry. I've finished.
I'm in control of the meeting. Councillor Crawford actually got extra time, so just conclude.
All I would say is I respectfully ask members to endorse the officer's recommendation to enable this development to bring forward the benefits associated with it and grant consent today.
Okay, so I'll ask the officer